Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Oxygen Not Included. So I just had a look at the last few recordings and the audio is actually starting to sound really nice, as long as my air conditioning is not running, which I've turned it off for now. It's a little bit hot in here, but it's fine. So and then also I managed to upload all the thumbnails for all the previous videos and give them descriptions and so on and so forth. So now I'm all caught up, at least for this series. So yeah, we're good to go. So in this episode, I left myself a little note saying to try and head for the oil biome. So that's what we'll do. Now I already set up a wire heading down for part of this way. The reason being is I know I will need a pump. So I should probably also get a liquid pipe going as well. It's tempting to make this an insulated pipe. Maybe I will do so for just the part of the base. You know what? In fact, I'm probably not even going to process the liquid up in the main base. Maybe I'll do it down here where this slime was. But anyway, we'll at least get some liquid pipe going down here and have them work on that in the meantime. So it is going to be a little while before we can get to the oil biome. They're moving real slow on this one. I also need to pump out this polluted water or shift it over to the side somehow. I'm not exactly sure how to handle this one. Maybe just build up... Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Build up a little wall right there. And then they can clear that and we'll build a ladder for them. That should do nicely. Okay, excellent. They're going to need a ladder here as well. That'll at least reduce the amount of liquid we need to get rid of on this side of the wall. Yes. We also need more suits, don't we? That's the main reason why they're not really coming down here. And now that we have the metal refinery going, we can produce copper without wasting copper ore, which is nice. Very nice. So I'm going to go ahead and build some tiles here. Well, actually, those aren't going to be tiles. We'll just get rid of those. This will be a tile, though. And I suppose I can put tiles in here as well. Oh, no, that'll dig up... Cancel. That'll dig up the muck root. And we're trying to preserve these plants. Now if I go up into space, it's quite dangerous up there, but there's lots of copper up there. Very nice. Good job, derps. I mean, dupes. Well, you don't need to breathe. Stop complaining. You do not want me as your leader. I'll be a terrible leader. Alright, well, as much as we have very minimal copper ore, we do need a lot of copper. So I'm going to make at least 1 ton. And that's a quarter of what we have now. But I need it. I need it real bad for these suits. I need more Atmos suits made. Which are here. We have enough for 2 at the moment, and we'll have enough for 3 later. I do want to take a look at the temperature. Temperature down here is fine. Awesome. And it looks like, let me take a look at the plumbing real quick. It looks like we are bringing up cold liquid now as well, which should be cooling this area pretty significantly, in fact. The liquid coming out of this pipe is 60 degrees. Yes, I am a fan of that. Excellent. So we'll request a few more suits. Well, actually, I have this building disabled, don't I? I'm going to speed it up a little bit for a little while and see what we can get done. Alright. So now they've at least trapped this water. So we can do a similar thing over here. And what I'll do is I'll just put a... oh no, a mesh tile won't work. How am I going to do this? Insufficient oxygen generation. Well, I mean, if you're sure. One thing we do need absolutely is a NOT gate here. And then deconstruct this automation wire. And what that will do is when this tank is full, it will send a red signal. And then when the tank is not full, it will send a green signal. More or less. There's a little more to it than that, but basically what we want is when this is full, we want it to send a green signal. And there's no way to set that up with the reservoir itself. So we're actually going to go ahead and send the red signal through to a NOT gate, which is going to turn a red signal into green and give a green signal. So we want this gas vent to only open when this tank is full. And I'm not 100% sure why I want this tank to fill up completely, but I think it's just because I'm trying to prioritize the Atmos suits, and so yeah, it doesn't really accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish there, but at least it's a little closer. It's kind of one of those things. Pipe is blocked. So we're just full on chlorine. It's not bad. I can't complain about that. The best way to handle this would probably be a pump. I just don't want to really build a pump because then it's basically I gotta deconstruct it, but that just saying it out loud, it sounds kind of lazy, so I'll probably just do that. Alright, well, salt water means more water. Well, more water is always good. And these duplicants are looking pretty boring to me. I mean, we did accept new duplicants, and now our food source is more or less stable, kind of sort of going down, but going down slowly. The only one that I would take is Harold. Plus 3 strength and plus 3 construction. Those are handy. But he does eat a lot. So, do I want the duplicant, another mouth to feed, or do I want the salt water, which I would have to process into water? Then again, the salt is usable. Which to pick? Which to pick? I'm gonna go with the salt water. You know, I don't have any desalinators yet, but I will one day. Alright, well, how are we looking on copper? Well, we used some. So now I don't even have enough for the 2 suits that I was making. Well, we are producing more, though. Slowly. I like the little animation that they do when they kick water off of their feet. I don't like that it slows them down, but it's still a funny animation. Alright, this is working out quite well, I'd say. The water coming out of here is not very hot, and it's getting quickly cooled by this ice. Water at this pump is a nice chilly 40 degrees. I like that it's getting just the water that's melted, so it means that there's nothing frozen, and as long as it doesn't get subjected to too much cold on the way up, then it stays above freezing temperature, which is nice. How's the electrical grid doing? It's pretty good, not gonna lie. Alright. So I think we have plenty of suits on this side and not enough on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and undock some suits. See how this... see if they get taken away to the other side. And in that case, I'm going to go ahead and enable this building as well. I want all the Atmos suit docks and checkpoints to be a high priority. Because duplicants tend to pick up a suit, drop it somewhere random, and then now you have an Atmos suit just lying around, and you notice it, you request it, but then nobody gets around to delivering it for a while. So once you have a higher priority, then they can go ahead and... Alright, well now that they have Atmos suits... narcoleptic nap, that's funny. Now that they have Atmos suits to work in, they'll spend less time going up for air and a lot more time building what I've asked for. I'm going to go ahead and build... Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to just clear this out as a space. Trying to get rid of the water. It's more difficult than it seems. Well, 2 technologies remaining until we get planetary research, which is unfortunately not happening anytime soon. Oh no, this... what a disaster. Oh well, too late. Alright, well, in order to process oil, we need an oil refinery. And it requires crude oil, power, liquid in, liquid out. And it produces petroleum, natural gas, heat, so I either need a natural gas generator, or I need some place to store the natural gas. Now this polymer press produces steam and heat. And it creates plastic. So the main problem with those 2 things is the power. But it looks like... I've got a spot to just go ahead and bring the wire down. And we'll put a transformer here. Although, how much power are we talking about? Refinement. Polymer press is 240 watts, so that's fine. And 480. Okay. Very nice. So we'll set up a basic refinery setup for now. And I'll just try not to run these things too much at any given time. In fact, just for funsies, I'm going to go ahead and put a switch here and a switch there. And then we'll automate these two things. All that research finished very quickly. We have this one and then just those. So we'll be done with research. I can almost even deconstruct the science ones, except I can't. The reason why I'd like to deconstruct them, in fact I just might, because the messages over here on the top are kind of annoying. It says building lacks research focus. Alright, well I just realized that we're pretty close as far as altitude with this ladder and with this ladder. The main difference is that this has an airlock separating from the base, and it has Atmos suits. So I think what I want to do is utilize these ladders and just start climbing and climbing, because I want to get to space soon, so that I can get those resources from the meteorites. Basically the way that it works is meteorites impact and they leave behind metal, and there are seasons to it and everything. Alright, an oil reservoir. I didn't find one of those yet on my other map, so I have no idea how to capture it. I don't want to get distracted, but I really want to look at the desalinator, what it requires and all that. Now I see our food is going down, so it's a good thing I didn't select a new duplicate. Ah, it's an oil well. I wouldn't really think that to be in utilities. Oh, it requires clean water. So maybe not just yet. Requires a lot of water, actually. And it doesn't output any polluted water or anything, so that water is just wasted. Yeah. Water pumped cannot be recovered, so I'm going to skip that for now. And maybe just pump up this stuff, because I don't need that much plastic to begin with. Petroleum, that's nice. Ooh, now I'm just noticing something here. I don't have any thermal insulation for the bottom part of my base. So I really need some kind of a buffer. So I think I need a vacuum. Like I have over here. I don't know how effective this thing really is. It doesn't seem to be that too effective. I could go higher with the vacuum and kind of lock it off up here. Like extend it upwards. I probably should. In fact, let's go 4 high. Or 3 high, I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, that should be an airflow tile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so we're going to cancel these guys. And then we'll build airflow tiles at those heights. This reservoir would need to be moved though. Okay, well I'm going to make some progress moving forward on these two. And then I'm going to deconstruct both the supercomputer and the research station until later. New printables. Well, I'm definitely not getting more dupes. So, Joya seeds or pufflets? Well, pufflets create slime. No clue what Joya seeds do. Now, slime isn't all that useful later on. We'll focus on oxidizers or electrolyzers. Alright, well we're getting a steady flow of hot steamy water down here into the ice biome. I'm gonna slow it down a little bit. I can't really pay that close attention to things at that speed. Illumination, huh? Okay. I thought I had it the light in the right spot. I guess not. Oh, where'd all this water come from? Seriously, where did this water come from? Hey look, crude oil, huh? Oh, undo. I meant M, not G. I really wish I knew, because there's no source of water nearby that I know of. And there's a lot of it here. It's a bit of a mystery. Well, I suppose if this is not part of a chain, which I think it is. Oh no, it is. It is part of a chain, but it's at the end of a chain. So we'll deconstruct. We'll put the output from here going Going there. Well, we can't. Ugh. Alright, well we got the polymer press set up. Well, that's good-ish. Oh, it's built out of gold amalgam because I ran out of copper, huh? Welcome back. You may not have noticed, but I paused the video, and a few things happened. The reason why I paused it is because there was a big old cockroach, and I had to wrangle it, take it outside. And when I came back inside, I realized that it was quite warm in here, and so I had to run the air conditioning for a few minutes, cool it down, and then turn it back off again. The reason why I have to keep it off is because audio recording. Anyway, and then while I was running the air conditioning, I was taking a look at the setup and realized that this is going to generate steam in the general vicinity. So what happened in my last playthrough is water just ended up pooling on the ground. Now, I don't have wheezeworts over here. In the last playthrough, I had a bunch of wheezeworts cooling the area, so I'm not sure if the steam is going to condense down and then form a layer of water here on the floor. But I am going to prepare for that by creating a few mesh tiles here and a liquid pump into an electrolyzer. Now, I'm not going to mess with the hood and a hydrogen generator or anything like that. I'm just going to split the water into hydrogen and oxygen. That way I can create a breathable environment down here. And I'll wrangle the hydrogen later. It floats up, so it's actually pretty easy to capture. I'll find a spot where I can, collect it, basically. Luckily, hydrogen explosions are not really a thing in this game. Yet. And so it's not too dangerous to let it accumulate. The only thing it really does is displaces oxygen. So, yeah, pressure issues and whatnot. Alright, well, I'm going to let that build for a while. I set everything to a high priority. Now, oh yeah, the other thing I set up is this transformer over here. And I need heavy watt wire going across. And this power cable is going all the way down. Down, down, down. And, oh, I don't have anyone that can dig through that yet. To a pump down here. And that pump is going to deliver the crude oil. So, let's get someone who can do super duper hard digging. I imagine it's going to be Turner. Looks like Turner's the man for the job. And how's Lyra doing? Oh no, that's not. Oh, Frankie. Machinery. And Ellie. I thought I hired someone that can do excavation. I guess not. Well, Turner can do it. So that's good enough for me. Alright, well, we're still getting the insufficient oxygen generation. Now this shouldn't be disabled. It should be enabled. Right. So why is this sending a green signal? All right. I think reloading the game is what would fix that. There's a bug. Because it was already at the high threshold, then it didn't switch. Something like that. But clearly this should be sending a red signal, which will be turned into a green signal right there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to reset the game and bring you right back. Alright, it's like nothing happened at all. And nothing did happen because this is still giving the wrong signal. So, how does one fix? I think the easiest way to do this is do it like that. Let's see how it goes. And yeah, I need to get a lot more copper going because I'm making everything out of gold amalgam right now, which I want to save for things that get really, really hot. Alright, so now that should vent off. Oh, it's got to empty completely before it sends that signal. That's curious. It's still not working. Alright, well I'm going to figure this out off camera. Alright, welcome back. So, unfortunately, I cannot get this automation wire to send anything other than a, a green signal. No matter what I do. So there are a lot of workarounds, but I don't want to do a workaround. I want this to work as advertised. And maybe I'm missing something, but as advertised, it should have flipped this NOT gate several times. I emptied the reservoir, I filled it back up, I changed the low threshold, the high threshold several times. Yeah, nothing really worked. This automation wire has sent a green signal constantly the whole time. So I'm trying one more thing. I'm setting it to less than 100 and more than 0. And then I'm going to empty it again and then fill it again. And if none of that flips the automation signal, then I'm either going to just give up on it entirely or figure out one of the workarounds. Anyway, in the meantime, a couple things. We set up this filter because I realized I'm going to damage this refinery if I pump anything other than crude oil out of here, which, as you can see, there's some liquids hanging out threatening that exact thing. Why is this unreachable? Oh, I'm not building ladders. That should do it. The other thing is I have printables. So, and then I also realized that I have a surplus of blossom seeds. So I planted one here, and now I am going to plant one right here as well. But with that in mind, 49,000 kcals, I'm thinking I can accept a duplicate if the price is right. Wow. Rowan looks pretty good. Use the bathroom more often, but that doesn't matter to me. Sticker bomber. Alright, well, he's looking good. He's okay, boring. Agriculture, boring. Okay, so Rowan, algae, 500 kilograms of algae will last us, what, like 5 seconds? So Rowan, welcome to the colony. You're gonna hate it here. Just being honest. No gas output. Well, that's right. It does create carbon dioxide, doesn't it? Take a look. Output. Carbon dioxide. Not a lot, though. Unlike most machines, it has the carbon dioxide come out of a pipe instead of just depositing it in the nearby surroundings. Alright, well, for now, we're just going to vent it right where it is. Now this thing's going to heat up like crazy. So I can't run it for very long until I have a cooling solution. But that's alright. What is it even made out of? Did I make it out of... Oh yeah, gold amalgam. Cool. Just like everything else right now. Alright, let's see how this thing is doing. It's almost empty. I was overthinking it a little bit with the low threshold and high threshold. The wiki said that it was when it's inside or outside of the range, it'll change the signal. So when it gets down to 0, it should switch. If it doesn't, it's bugged. And it's completely empty, and it didn't switch. Just verify that real quick. Yeah, sending a green signal. It should be outputting... Well, it should be sending a green signal, and then as soon as it gets filled back up above 0, it should send a red signal. Or no, actually it's going to send a red signal when it gets above 99. So we'll have a look at that when it gets full. So far I haven't had any good results though. Alright, well there's a lot of idle duplicants. So let's give them something to do. Well, they can make some more suits, I guess. We don't have a ton of copper. But with that in mind, we can make some more copper as well. Or maybe some iron. Yeah, we've got very little copper and quite a bit of iron. So I'm going to say 5 kilograms. Or 5 tons. That should do. Question is, why does this have no coolant in it? Oh, it does. Alright, did we get all the way down yet? Still no. These guys are taking forever. Ah, well, if I built them a fire pole farther down, then that would probably help. Or if I built this stuff out of something other than sandstone, I could build it out of igneous rock, granite. There's some lead down here, which I don't have to refine. That's kind of cool. Well, I am going to go ahead and lay down an airlock. Just a simple one. That should do it right there. Alright, well, it filled up to 100%. And as you can see, automation wire is still green. Oh, it looks like we melted some ice. Or no, we dropped some sand all the way down, huh? There was sand up here? Looks like maybe so. Cool slush geyser. Where? Cool slush geyser, where is it? Crushed ice. Well, that's cool. What temperature? I guess it's in here, huh? Oh yeah, it is, because this is neutronium. Neato. So there's one right here. And I've never encountered this kind before. Cool slush geyser is Crushed ice. Well, let's take a look. Alright, well let's go ahead and analyze that thing right away. And in fact, you know, it's in a perfect spot because, well, let's cancel this dig for sure. But I think that's how I want to do it. I can cancel these build as well because I don't think... Let's see how that goes. Meanwhile, oh! They got all the way down. And why is there no power? Because this transformer is not built. They can't build it because they can't get to it. Alright. Cool slush geyser. Emitting polluted water. I thought it... Oh, I guess it emits polluted water while it's... Well, that's not good for the oil. Not by any means, but... Yeah. It's not the worst thing that could happen. Oh wow, what the heck is even... Neato. Well, as soon as they construct this transformer here, then that pump should activate and this refinery should get a supply of oil. So if I can get that done before the end of this episode, I'll be very happy. Energize. Alright, did you turn on? Yes, you did. Excellent. Here comes the black gold. And there it is. Crude oil. That's a low priority. Let's give that a 7. Oh man, we are producing plastic and heating up fast. What's the overheat temperature of this thing again? 257? Oh hey, look, there's some steam that condensed already into water. Did we make any plastic? Manufactured material, plastic. We made 30 kilograms of this stuff. So yeah, we need some kind of a solution to that. Well, the neat thing about all this polluted water is that I can filter it with a water sieve, and then I can use that clean water to power this oil reservoir. So that'll be awesome. I have a plan. So I'll set that up while I dig this space, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.